I have hawked before. I have fried pekere, yes,
Are you serious?
and sold before. I have done nails, painting nails when nails just started at the time. I have a lot of skills that I'm not focusing on right now because, of course, as you grow, my brain is so expanded that anywhere you put me, I can survive. I can take care of myself.
Because skills is very, very crucial. It's very, very important. It's very, very essential in moving the nation forward. So what the Honorable Minister said is nothing but the truth.
In a recent development that has ignited a nationwide debate, the Minister for Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy-Ohanenye, has called for the introduction of urban development activities in schools, particularly on Fridays. This proposal has raised eyebrows and concerns among many Nigerians who argue that it could potentially lead to child labor. The International Labour Organization has released shocking statistics revealing that more than 15 million children in Nigeria are already engaged in child labor. This revelation underscores the urgency of addressing child labor issues in the country, as called for by various stakeholders. The ILO defines child labor as work that interferes with schooling by depriving them of the opportunity to attend school, obliging them to leave school prematurely, or requiring them to attempt to combine school attendance with excessively long and heavy work. The Child Rights Act of 2003 also provides a comprehensive definition of child labor encompassing exploitative or forced labor, employment in capacities other than domestic or light agriculture and horticultural work, and engagement in industrial activities other than supervised technical work in schools or approved institutions. Minister Ohanenye's proposal seeks to designate Fridays as a free day for students to participate in the production of various items, including toothpicks, matches, and sanitary pads. She contends that this initiative aims to combat child unemployment and reduce the prevalence of drug abuse among children. The question in everyone's mind: does the minister's proposal equate to child labor? The answer is far from straightforward, as it has ignited a passionate debate among Nigerians. Many have raised concerns about the efficiency of Nigeria's traditional education system.
Fantastic idea. It's a fantastic idea because here, Nigeria, where we are as a country today, we're talking about poverty and we're talking about different ways that we need to bring ourselves out of poverty. We're talking of building our children, and we want a country that we are responsible. I know the conversation of those who are saying child labor. I do not agree this is the same as child labor, because we're talking about how we can have some hours within school, school time. It's not something that they're saying, do not send your children to school. Let them sit down from morning to night and just keep churning out this. That's not what she said. That's not what I heard. She's saying that let's find a way to add it to the education that they're getting, so that they're doing something. And then we're building our children. They're learning responsibility. They're learning production. I mean, how is that something to criticize? I don't say anything to criticize here.
Okay. The reason is why it's not going to disturb them is this. Of course, the children have time in that they play. So if they engage these on just one day activity to just learn a vocation, it will help them. It's an educational thing. It's also a part of education. So it will help them learn one or two things that they can practice even before admission or even while in school, even or while graduating. I mean, if we have that, we wouldn't have a lot of graduates seeking jobs at this moment. Some of them would have been able to even become an employer of labor,
They can be able to practicalize those things, to be able to earn a living. Because certificate alone now, without skill, it cannot help us at this point in time. You understand? People need to know what they are doing, be able to be practical. You understand? It's very important, not to exclude it, but to include it in their curriculum, to make sure that things work appropriately. That is my own opinion. You understand? It should not exclude it, it should be included in their curriculum, so that they can be able to learn it practically, so that they can practicalize it, not only learning it. The government should also provide money after learning, so that give to those students to be able to put it in use. It will help the economy.
The British charity IA Foundation has recommended that the Nigerian government overhaul its education policy to incorporate soft skills, aligning education with the demands of the 21st century. Mrs. Ibironke Adiabo, The foundation's founder and CEO stressed the importance of integrating soft skills into the education policy to reduce dependency on traditional jobs and equip individuals with the necessary skills to address contemporary challenges. Adeyebo, who also criticized the minister's stance, proposed that Nigeria must take concerted efforts to bring back the 20.2 million children who are currently out of school into classrooms. Many of these out-of-school children deliberately avoid traditional learning methods, raising the question of alternative approaches to keep them constructively engaged.
Well, for someone that has a skill myself, I've always been of the opinion that while conventional schools are great, I think skills should be inculcated too. I feel like every child deserves to learn a skill because apart from the state of the country where jobs are not even available for graduates, a lot of us are actually using our skills to make money. So it's a very brilliant idea and I'll endorse it.
The ongoing debate highlights a critical question for Nigeria. Should the nation transition towards nurturing a creative and productive mindset among its children, potentially securing a brighter future for both its youth and the country as a whole? The discussion continues as Nigerians grapple with the complex issue of child labor, education reform, and the path forward for their nation.
Mondays to Thursdays to learn the other things that are normally learned in school. So taking a day off will not be a problem. So I really think it's a good idea and it should be followed through thoroughly.